right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Just wanted to come on a few minutes over here trying to get my car straightened out with oil change. Like I told you guys before, I'm a ride share driver, and when you're a ride share driver, you put on a lot of miles. It wasn't 3 weeks since the last time I was here, and I put on about 12,000 miles. Well, not 12,000. I put about 9,000 miles since the last time I've been here in about 3 weeks. So I don't sit still. A lot of people say, why you drive so much? You're going to tear your car up. Well, cars are made to be driven, and I'm going to drive mine. Before I got the vehicle I had now, I had a smaller vehicle, and I put 300,000 miles on that one. And I took a picture and all, and I'm celebrating about all the miles I have on this particular vehicle. And I said, I'm going to get 400,000. Never mind, 300 is a remarkable feat, so why not go for 4? Well, as soon as I got to talking trash about 4, what happens? I threw my transmission out again, and that led me to get another vehicle. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to drive that one. I almost got 200,000 miles on it, and just so happened the trucks are better vehicles than the cars. And that's great for me because I'm going to drive it to quit, fix one time, then I'm going to trade it in and get me something else. I don't know what it is, but my eye is stinging me. So I'm going to try to get through this. But today I want to talk about the Olympics. The Olympics have been the rage for about a week now, and it's been a lot of great competition. Some of the events and the results are kind of what we expected. And you're going to start seeing more of that as the Olympics continue. We still got a little bit over a week to go in track and field. That begins tomorrow. But as I think about these Olympics, this is the 33rd Olympiad, but this is actually the 10th Olympiad for me. I started watching with the 1984 Olympics in LA, which happens to be the 23rd Olympiad. And I say that was my first because in 1980, if you recall, the USA boycotted. And in 76, that's when Bruce Jenner and Sugar Ray Leonard, all those guys were on the scene. And they end up not going to the Olympics in 80, and that was held in Moscow. You know, United States and Russia always been contentious with each other. And in 84, LA, they didn't have, the Russians didn't come to that, so kind of like tit for tat. So as you know, without the Russians, who were highly competitive with Americans, and a lot of people have questions about why they were competitive, but nevertheless, they were not there. And because they weren't there in the 84 Olympics, the Americans ran wild. So if you're going to have any kind of connection with the 84 Olympics and the 2024 Olympics, is that you don't have a Russian contingent. 84 was because of the boycott, and this year they were not allowed because of the invasion of Ukraine. And pardon me, my eyes running for some particular reason. But one thing I want to talk about that reminds me of the Olympics, and like I say, this is my 10th one. Started watching in 1984. What was memorable about the 84 Olympics, so just got through the 7th grade, was the fact that McDonald's almost went broke. If you recall, you're around my age, you know how they have those game cards on the events, not the events, but the packages, the hamburger packages, and you have the drink packages. Well, when you peel those back in 84 during these Olympics, they had an event on there. And if Americans won bronze, gold, or silver, you get a certain prize. And because America was dominating, they gave up a whole lot of gold medal prizes. And as a kid, that was great, because once you bought 1 or 2 meals for the summer, you was pretty much set. Because what was going to happen, you were going to start peeling off a whole bunch of free meals. And a lot of kids my age, we had a great time during the 1984 Olympics. It was so great that McDonald's, they have chosen not to bring such a promotion back again. But that would be great if they can come back again with that promotion where you can just peel off, and whatever event you get, that's what be your prize. And that's one of the most memorable things about the Olympics for me. But as far as this year's Olympics is, starting out pretty well competitively, especially for the Americans. I don't think they're at the top of the medal count, but they're up there pretty high. But the basketball, it's kind of one-sided. I looked at the United States and Serbia, and that was a mismatch. And then you saw the USA women playing against Japan. That was like a Mutt and Jeff game. Japan, the only thing they can do is try to shoot three-pointers because they didn't have any size. How you expect to compete if you don't hit all of your three-pointers? And sure enough, they pulled away from Japan because they just didn't have the size to compete with them. And may not be a size issue as they move forward, but you can bet your bottom dollar that the Americans on both sides are going to be able to easily win all of these games and repeat as double gold medal winners. Now, the controversy that they've been talking about, they've been talking about the who should be on the team. Well, with the women, first it was Caitlin Clark. Well, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and anybody else that was in college while they were doing the selection process, in my opinion, should be ineligible. They shouldn't be allowed to go to the Olympics because they weren't there doing the selection process. Yes, I understand that the WNBA All-Stars beat the Olympic team, but that means nothing. If they played a series, then I would expect the Olympic team to defeat those All-Stars. But a lot of people made a big deal about it, and of course the Caitlin Clark fans wanted her to be in the Olympics, but I don't think anybody that wasn't there for the selection process should be allowed to go to the Olympics. Now, the other part, the men's basketball team, you have Jaylen Brown. Why is he not on the Olympic team? As you know, Jaylen Brown is the NBA Finals All-Star, MVP. Why is he not on the team when you have the second and fourth best players on the Celtics on the Olympic team? Well, as much as Grant Hill wants to try to call Jaylen Brown a conspiracy theories, we all know that Nike is the reason why Mr. Brown is not on the Olympic team. He has been in some kind of verbal spat with the company, and the company they're the sponsor of the Olympic team, so of course they don't want somebody they're in contention with to be in the Olympics representing their brand. So he understood that, but for Grant Hill to come out and say that the man is a conspiracy theorist when he knows what the truth is, that don't make Grant Hill look too good. And all the way up to this point, Grant Hill, he's pretty much been spotless with his name. So why would you come on out with trying to denigrate the man in this particular situation? So other than Caitlin Clark and Jaylen Brown situation, everything should be going smoothly for the men's and women's basketball teams. Now, in Florida down here, they have started the high school football practice. This is day 3, and they should still be in shorts, but the way some people skirt the system, whether it comes to recruiting or improper benefits, if you will, you can believe that some people are already in pads and they're doing whatever they feel like they need to do to get a leg up on everybody else, especially now when you have no classification limit when it comes to this new tournament they have. So what they decided to do was to take the top team from any class, all state, and they're going to have their own playoffs as opposed to their class playoffs that they had before. And that could be considered a good idea depending on who you're talking about. But most of those coaches, they're going to find a way to get out of that. But once you have been selected for that tournament, you can't get out of it. And there are some who want that, but some just want to be named state champions no matter who they have to play or who they have to duck. But now you can't duck anybody. So what I'm going to see now is who's going to duck the competition as it gets close to playoff time. Now, again, I'm a rideshare driver, and I've been spending a lot of time going down to St. Augustine, and that is my school's rival. And I picked up a guy the other day, and he tells me that St. Augustine is talking about dropping the rivalry with my school. Now, give you a little backstory to that. Up until 2000, my school dominated the series. They lost to St. Augustine twice in the 70s. They lost to St. Augustine twice in the 80s. And they lost twice in the 90s. Then, St. Augustine hired a new coach and he turned the whole series around. Since 2000, the whole series has been reversed. So much so that a lot of people in St. Augustine are saying they don't want to play us anymore. Well, that's an insult to the people who realize or knew what took place before this all of sudden turn of change of heart. They don't want to play anymore. So what the guy tells me is, well, they want to play Palaca, but only if Palaca strictly comes to them. Well, this year is an even year, which means St. Augustine comes to us. So I saw the schedule when it came out last week. Sure enough, they are playing. But St. Augustine will come to Palatka, but not on the traditional last game of the season. They're going to open the season now with St. Augustine. So that's kind of odd to people used to the rivalry ending at a certain time of the year. But I can understand from St. Aug's point of view, you begin to question if the rivalry is ever going to change because of the way that things have changed now with the state rules. If it's just people from St. Augustine and Palatka, then you're going to have a series that go back and forth. But everybody on St. Augustine's roster is not from St. Augustine. They're going to get more players because they've been winning lately. My school hasn't been winning. Plus, with the climate that's going on at that school, which I'm not going to get into right now, I don't think many people want to go there. So if St. Augustine is going to continue to get people from outside of the area to play for them, plus the county is growing, they got people coming in from all over the place, they're going to get more players than what you have in my town. So it might be best to drop the series if it's going to keep continuing to get uglier and uglier like it's been in the past. But what it's going to take is one coach to come in there and say, we're not taking this anymore. About 10 years ago, they had one. But for whatever reason, he turned the series around, he won a game, and then he didn't come back no more. He decided to move on. I guess he had his reasons, but I think if he had stayed there, we'd be talking about a completely different situation with that series right now. But St. Augustine, they're doing well. They should have won the state championship last year. Don't have anything against them. Hope they do well. But at some point, if we continue to play, my school is going to turn that rivalry back around. That's just the way I see it. But right now, I'm waiting for the real Olympics to start, and that is the track and field, and that kicks off tomorrow. And it's going to be the Americans and the Jamaicans in the sprints. Then you have your long distance events and all the other events that make the Olympic track and field special. So I just want to come on, talk a little bit while I'm sitting here waiting for my car to get ready. Look like it is ready. So again, thought about the 23rd Olympiad, which took place in LA back in '84. And what was special to me, not that Carl Lewis won his 4 gold medals, it was the fact that McDonald's had the special where you peeled off an event off your soda and your burger container, and it told you what event you had. And if the United States won gold, silver, or bronze in that event, you got a certain prize to go with that winning. And America won a lot that year. They didn't have Russia to contend with, who was their main rival at the point. Jamaica was kind of an afterthought at that time. It was the Russians, the Eastern Bloc countries. They weren't there. So Americans pretty much dominated. And people who went to McDonald's that year, they had a whole lot of fun getting all those free rewards. So it's just something to think about. But keep an eye on the Olympics basketball team. I expect both of them to win gold. And should be interested in the Olympics from here on out. So this is Sports for Real. I just want to talk a little bit about the Olympics. I'll catch you on the other side. I got to go to work. I'm out.